Okay, we're going to get straight into this episode. Let's go. Now, I wake up for Chow. Sleep late, lose weight. So we go to Chow and we comes back to the dorm. Today is a non-work day. Okay, so, you know, we got a prison transport coming in today. So the guys are coming in and we seeing it and or whatever, you know. I don't see anybody I know or nothing like that. You know, I'm just, you know, watching these little guys come in. And, you know, most of them look like, you know, they done been to prison before. So, you know, I don't think too many people gonna fuck with them or whatever. So I see a couple of those guys go talk to Baby Charles, you know, but I don't pay it too much attention or whatever. I just go ahead and start, you know, minding my business. Like I said, you know what I'm doing at this time. I'm drawing. So I'm seeing different people, they knowing different people in the prisons and stuff like this. And I'm like, God damn, this bitch getting packed. We was already like at 180. Now we at something like a little bit over 200. So I see Baby Charles back there. He know these guys. So, you know, I'm just curious. So I walk back there and say, Baby Charles, like, where you know them from? And Baby Charles like, they came from the other prison where we was. They came in after you left. You don't know them. They came in after you left. I'm saying, like, I was like, so I wonder why everybody coming to this prison. He say, because we ain't too far from the prison we was in. I say, what? He said, yeah, we like 50 miles away from the prison we was in. So now I'm thinking, you know, I'm so naive. At this time, I don't know then what I know now, that prison there was big business, you know. So I see a young dude that came in on transport. Now, he's off to himself. You know what I'm saying? You could tell he's scared, he's terrified. So I'm like, they don't send too many first timers here. They do send them, but they don't send too many. This is really a second offender prison. So, you know, I know how I felt when I first got in the prison. So I goes up and talk to the little dude. And as we talking, he telling me, hey, man, I'm innocent, bro. I ain't even do this, man. And they ain't have no evidence on my case when they convicted me, man. It was the judge, man. You know, so I'm hearing the little dude. I'm like, man, everybody in here say they innocent. You know what I'm saying? You know, I said, shit, I was riding and got caught up in somebody else bullshit, you know. And matter of fact, it's that nigga right there. And I pointed at Jubin, showing no dude. You know, so he kind of got offended. So which told me he could be telling the truth about he innocent. So I'm talking to this little dude and I'm giving him the rundown and telling him who to stay away from and how to rock in this prison. And then at the end of all that, I tell him, I say, hey, man, if you want to, you know, we all work. But while we in here, you could kick it with me and my dudes, bro. And I ain't on no other kind of bullshit, you know what I'm saying? I'm just straight up, you know. I remember my first time or whatever. And he like, okay, cool, man, because I don't know nobody, bro. And, bro, I don't even know how to act in prison. So the little dude jam with us all day. You know, he play cards and checkers and stuff with us. He just hangs around us, you know. So we going to fast forward into the next day where we got to go to work. Like, you know, we go to morning chow and then we go to work. So we went to work, you know, we in carpool and everything like that. So now we back thinking about what happened between the guard and the Latin dude, you know, because it was real messed up. And now we talking about it and stuff like that. And the guys just hearing about it for the first time and they shocked. They actually pissed off, you know what I'm saying, that the guards is around here supposed to be in here with us, but they still out here getting paid, you know, and living free, and they doing this. You know, they worse than the top predators in the prison. So we say, okay, let's go see if something like that happened today. So we deliberately goes over to the shop to see if the guard comes back. So we all goes out there to where we smoke at, and we stand out there for a while, and nothing happened. So we leaves and go back to carpool. So as we on our way back to carpool, we see Robbie emptying trash cans. So we takes off behind Robbie. And as soon as we get behind Robbie, we spots Meathead. And man, we attack that dude. We ain't even hesitate. It's like you see this person and then you straight curve for Meathead. We start beating on him. Bow, 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 bow. We stomping him and kicking him and stomping him and stomping him. And Robbie, he looks like he want to come back, but then he looks and see how deep we is, and he strikes out the other way. And when he comes back with Monroe, but I guess he didn't tell Monroe what was going on, that we all was over here stomping Meathead. So Monroe looks what's going on, and he strikes out. And Robbie strikes out behind him, and they leave Meathead there getting his ass stomped. So we keep stomping Meathead until finally we just stop stomping him and go back to carpool. That's before any guards wandering the halls just for any reason come. You don't want to be there still stomping no other inmate. So we went back to carpool and we all doing our job. So finally, me and Pop say, let's go take a smoke. And we goes to shop to take a smoke. And when we get to the shop, the same guard is already in there with another inmate. And this time, he's fucking the inmate. We like, man, this dude is a top predator. He's going to get different inmates that's on workforce and either making them give him a blowjob or he's fucking them. So we finished off the work day and we headed back to the tier and we just continually talking about this guard that's doing this to the inmates. Because the only thing worse than an inmate doing it to an inmate is a guard doing it to the inmates. Okay, so we walk back in the tier and immediately I see the little dude. And he over there sitting with Ross, the guy that sent Micho and them out there, who stabbed Micho up, that BTs had sold Micho to, and they violated Micho and stabbed Micho up and sent Micho out. He over there with that dude, Ross. Just sitting at the table with Ross with his head down. Now, when they sitting like that, that means they've been violated already. I'm pissed at this time. So I'm saying, man, I ain't even tell the boys to follow me. I went straight charging towards Ross. So I tell Ross, man, what the fuck going on here? So Lil one ain't pick his head up and even look at me. So I knew for sure what had to happen. He said, man, Ross say, man, ain't nothing, man. I'm just sitting here chilling with Lil one, man. That's all. So without even thinking, I struck Ross. Yeah! Hit him in his mouth. And by the time I got on him, all the dudes started running over there. They on top of him. We stomping Ross. And we tell Lil one, go to your cell, Lil one. Lil one get up and go to his cell. And we start stomping Ross. And Ross boys start making their way down the stairs. So we back up a little bit. And they come out. And we start. And we all get in the blend. And we fight. We fight and we fight and we fight and we fight. Because y'all just seen this little man came in here and y'all couldn't even wait. And I felt partly responsible because I felt like what happened to him because they seen him with us. But I had no problems with Ross and them. But he probably wouldn't even got seen if he wouldn't have been with us. Because the prison always watching us. Because of how deep we beginning to be. So we stomped the hell out of Ross and them. Now we got beef with Ross and them too. So after the fight was over and everything was calmed down and stuff, I went and talked to Lil one. And Lil one say the same thing everybody that this happened to say. Man, I ain't gay, man. I ain't want them dudes to do this to me. And I say, Lil one, you ain't got to tell me that. This ain't my first time in prison. And this ain't the first time them dudes done did this to somebody. I say, man, don't ever let that play with your mind and make you begin to doubt yourself. Them dudes are the predators. They do this to a lot of people. Ain't no girls in this facility, so they have to prey on the weak boys. So, okay, we gonna fast forward to the next work day. So, okay, we eat chow, and we head off to our jobs. So we working, and I mean, we done worked a good part of the day. We in there, everybody listening to their music, working, you know what I'm saying? The vibes is good. Then all of a sudden, you see the predator guard, he comes in carpool. He's looking around, he's just looking around until he spots this little guy named Ori. He spots Ori and he say, "Hey, you, come here." And we like, man, hey, bro, he about to do this shit to Ori, man. Now, Ori is like a pretty boy looking dude too, you know, so that's what he go looking for. Ones that's weak, ones he know he can do this to, that ain't gonna tell on him. So he takes Ori out of here. But now we saying, hey, let's go act like we trying to have a smoke and see what's going on. So we heads down to the shop. But when we didn't pause this time, we walked straight in the shop. And he right there, they ain't doing nothing at this time. He like, hey, what y'all doing up in here? Like, we about to go take a smoke. No, y'all go back to when I finish up in here, then y'all can go take a smoke. Oh, okay, all right, Sarge. Sergeant Larry. Yes. So we leaves out the shop and we stands by the door and we hear what's going on. Now, at this time, he must have had already told Ori what he want Ori to do, because all we hear is this: "I ain't gonna tell you no motherfucking more." And then Ori starts saying, "Please, please, please don't do this to me." But he don't care, he heartless. You hear that same slap. Pow! Or, oh. Then all you hear is him saying, "Yeah, just like that. Okay, just like that. Yeah, go a little bit lower. Yeah, yeah." He had done did this to Ori too. This was part of his routine. And even if the prison found out about it, they probably let him resign and cover this up. So that's just not going to get it. Just go and tell. So we all head back to carpool and we talking about it and he's bringing Ori back. So we all hush up and we can see the look on Ori's face that everything done changed. But Ori starts to play it off like nothing happened, because he don't want nobody to know this. He figuring nobody seen this or nobody knows. So we never did tell him we knew. But if he was to talk to us, and then we'll tell him. But that's the worst thing you could ever do to a man. That probably would have caused him to commit suicide. So we all hushed up about it, but we all knew. We all knew what this guard was doing. So the mood in carpool then changed. So for the rest of the day, everybody just silent. Ain't nobody talking. Till the work day was over with and we was headed back to the tier. And then, even then, it was just little words here and there. Because everybody's spirit's just down. You know what I'm saying? Because they just can't really believe we're in a prison where the guards is assaulting the inmates. So immediately when I walk back in the tier, I go check on the little dude that Ross them had assaulted and violated. You know, and I'm like, "Hey, bro, everything cool?" He like, "Yeah, they ain't come mess with me. They ain't messing with me no more." I'm like, "Hey, bro, don't think that, man. Right now, they just laying low right now, but they gonna come back at you." I say, "Bro, I wish you was on the workforce so you could be leaving." I say, "Bro, but you gotta try to figure out a way to survive while we not in here." I say, "Cause we ain't gonna let them come at you while we in here." Cause I really started to believe the little dude was innocent. So I go take my shower and go back to my cell, you know what I'm saying? Go relax up in my rack or whatever. You know, I'm relaxing or whatever. Then I just get restless. So I get out the bed and I go out, you know what I'm saying? And I see Ross down there on the phone. So he really by himself, you know what I'm saying? So he thinking shit gravy. So I goes up to go get Lako, and so we can go get Doc and them, and we can go put another ass whooping on them. So me and Lako coming down the stairs, and I immediately see Lil coming out of his cell, walking towards Ross at the phone. So we start walking a little bit faster. But by the time we get there, Lil had then pulled out a weapon and started jugging Ross. Now, apparently, somebody in his cell had then gave this little man a weapon to jug Ross up. They didn't care about that Lil one got violated. They just wanted to see violence. And they provided him with a weapon to be their entertainment. That's how prison is. They always want to see chaos and violence. That's the witching hour. Too much time on their hands. So now all the commotion brings Ross boys out the cell, and they sees what's going on with Ross, and they go beat on the door for the guard. But when the guard come in here, Lil one still jugging Ross, so the guard tell the other guard that's on the hall with him, and they runs over, and they slap Lil one in the back of the head with the nightstick. Lays Lil one out like a mattress. Strap him up, take him out, radio for Ross help. They come in, get Ross some help, take Ross out, and do the whole routine of locking us back in there. Just like that. Now, if Lil one was innocent, and these judges find out later on that Lil one was innocent, do you think now that he done stabbed somebody, they just gonna cut him loose? After he had to do what he had to do to protect himself inside of here, do you think they just gonna cut him loose? He done threw his whole life away. And if he is innocent, or should I say, they threw his life away. It's over for him. Because we never seen Lil one again. Apparently, he got shipped somewhere else. A far worse a prison, I should say. I know they gonna send him to somewhere max. Because you done jugged another inmate, you know. We never end up seeing Ross again. So it's a possibility he could have died. We don't know. I never heard about what happened to Ross. Okay, so we gonna fast forward to the next work day. We eat chow, we go to work. We in carpool, and you know, everybody jolly and shit, back like ain't nothing happened. We see Ori. Ori is never the same person again. So, you know, we on the hall doing something or whatever, just talking, and we see Sergeant Larry coming walking with yet another inmate headed towards the shop. Now, we don't go down there and see what goes on, because we know what's about to go on. Sergeant Larry is on a rampage. Every day, it's another inmate. He takes this little guy in the shop, and they don't come out for about 30, 40 minutes. Man, we like, hey, bro, we gonna have to do something about Sergeant Larry, bro. Things had got so out of hand with these guards that one guy's fiance came up there to visit him, and before she could make it out to prison, the guard sexually assaulted her. I ain't making this stuff up. It's real. They was out of control, and they could cover up anything they want.
New at 5 o'clock today, a prison guard has resigned now after a woman accused him of sexually assaulting her while she was visiting her fiance, who's an inmate at the prison. Our Jonathan Martinez joining us live near downtown with more on the investigation now underway. Jonathan.
Bill, organizers of today's press conference say they want to know why the prison guard accused of sexually assaulting a woman has not been formally indicted today.
They didn't give him any signs, for him to do that to me. And when I left, I was just in total shock.
This is a bad case that needs to be quickly prosecuted, and TDCJ needs to send a message that there's zero tolerance policy for this kind of behavior by their employees.
A TDCJ spokesperson tells us the case has been turned over to the Office of Inspector General. And again, that guard in question has since resigned. Incidentally, that woman's fiance was released today, which is another reason she felt compelled to speak up today. Kwanilek saying he feels that perhaps there may be other people who have encountered a similar situation with this prison guard in question and wants him to come forward. That is the very latest. We are reporting live tonight. I'm Jonathan Martinez, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Of course, there's other cases. If you search in his background, the same way if you search in our Sergeant Larry's background, you're going to find dozens of cases. Because these guys just don't do this one time. They don't just do this and when that's the only time and the first time they've done this. They used to doing this. Yeah, I'm coming up with the next video. I'll see y'all soon.